What's a red flag you don't mind so much in a potential so? A certain type of dating history. Everyone has their own style of dating. For example, person A has a history of 3 to 4 year LTR, but has never married, while person B doesn't have any relationships beyond 6 months. Person A thinks it's a red flag that person B can't commit, when the reality is they simply end a relationship they don't see going long term. On the other side, person B thinks it is person A who can't commit based on the fact they have years-long relationships, but don't progress. It's all relative to how you compare the person's history to your own style of dating. Not having a lot of prior relationships as an older person. When I met my husband, he was 34 and had had only one serious relationship up until that point, which was 15 years prior. Now I know a lot of people would see that as a waving red flag and think there was something wrong with him, but the reality was he was in a male-heavy specialty, engineering college, to an engineering job, had a job where he traveled about 90% of the time and, when I met him, had just moved back to the area where he had grown up after being away for over 10 years. None of that was conducive to meeting people or a relationship, and, beyond that, he's not a particularly social person or someone who really revels in the company of others, which didn't help. We met online, we clicked, we started dating, we got married 2 years later and are still married 18 years later. Someone who isn't close to their own family. I'm not close with mine either. I'd actually think it was refreshing to be with someone who understood and felt the same way. How a man treats his mother is a sign of how he'll treat you, so be careful. Or if he dislikes his mom, doesn't want to help her, be there for her, talks bad about her. It could be because she's horrible and it's just a sign of how she treated him. Not being very communicative or chatty through text. Some people simply aren't into texting. I dated a guy who was like that. At first, I took his lack of communication and short answers as not being interested, when in reality, he simply wasn't much of a texter. I just accepted that's how he was. In person he was great. I've been told my lack of social media is a major turn-off and a major red flag. But I find a guy that doesn't have any social media, or very little, attractive. It's all about perspective. I don't mind some mild possessiveness. In fact, I think it's kind of hot. I blame all the Wattpad stories I consumed during my formative years. NGL, am genuinely desperate enough to ignore most red flags. Lack of relationship with their mother. Things happen, and I hate the saying, if you want to see how he'd treat a woman, see how he treats his mother. Someone who's been single for a long time. I find jumping from partner to partner more concerning. Some people never figure out who they are on their own. Clinginess. I like when she always wants to be around me and up under me. Absorbed in their hobbies / their work. I love that. Go buck wild even if it's obsessive. Also because I have a terrible rest / production ratio. I need someone who understands. LOL. Someone who needs their space. Maybe a lot of space. I describe my perfect relationship model as a binary star system. I've unfortunately found that a lot of men, I'm a woman, for what it's worth, are a little too protective / possessive or something along those lines to let this work. Someone with mental health issues. I basically screamed for that when I was dating. Hubs had one depressive episode in his life, meanwhile I struggle a lot with it. But just him having the one episode allows him to know somewhat what I go through, and be there for me in a way someone who never experienced depression couldn't. Needy. I'll take needy over uninterested. No friends. No family contact. Because those are all the things I'm currently dealing with. By choice. Friends just kind of faded and realized I was the only one putting in effort. And my family is extremely toxic and one-sided. so I would look at it more as a green flag. But in a relationship right now, with someone with the opposite of me, and sometimes it's a struggle. But it's workable. Having no friends. No social media presence. It could mean they're hiding something, I guess, but I wouldn't feel weird about it unless there were a lot of other signs that something was off. A slight amount of the right kind of mental illness. The right kind can turn people into very understanding and non-judgmental people who can help people their struggles. Back when I was dating, I didn't mind a girl with a lot of experience. Reddit loves using the term body count. If she wanted to be with me after being with lots of other guys, that told me I must be pretty damn good. A little bit of jealousy. I can deal with it since I can be a little jealous myself. A woman with a kid. I'm biased though, met my wife when she had a 2-year-old girl. Been married 10 years this week.